Welcome to Doctors of the Past, where we prescribe the best medicine to heal your historical curiosity.
Today's patient is the image of Cleopatra, the seventh Philopator, the most famous queen of ancient Egypt.
Did you know that her image is purely the product of her enemy's propaganda? That when we think of her, we call to mind the Hollywood portrayal rather than what she really looked like?
That she actually resembled a Greek woman more than an Egyptian pharaoh? Stay with us and you'll find out.
Her gaze swept over the set for the umpteenth time, and once again she sighed in excitement. Never before had anything so colossal and majestic filled the Cinecittà studio. The forum they built was 3 times larger than the original, and it was breathtaking to see thousands of extras assembled. She thought this scene would go down as one of the most expensive in film history, but she knew the result would be worth it. She was so absorbed in her role that when these things began to move, she lost all sense of reality. She felt like the true queen of Egypt. Yet something had gone wrong, because Joseph was furious. This time, she didn't see any extra eating ice cream, so she wasn't quite sure what had happened. It took her several minutes to realize that instead of shooting Cleopatra, the extras were shooting Liz.
The moment Caesar met Cleopatra, when the lives of 2 of the Mediterranean's most powerful rulers crossed, many pages began to be written about her that will shape the image we have inherited. First, as Caesar's lover, with whom she had her firstborn, and later with Mark Antony, with whom she had 3 more children. But that's another story. Thanks to Roman accounts, Cleopatra entered the annals of history as a cold, calculating seductress of unparalleled beauty and charm. The 20th century revived the image of that powerful, intelligent woman through film, but projected onto her the beauty standards of each era. Thus, the 1912 film Cleopatra, played by Helen Gardner, shows a young woman with pronounced curve, extremely long hair, and dark eyes, adorned with pearls and semi-transparent fabrics typical of that early decade. We must wait until the 1940s to begin to see the slender, traditional Cleopatra we all imagine, wearing her braided wig wrapped over one shoulder. Yet the psychological portrait of Egypt's queen remains far from our imagination. In Caesar and Cleopatra, Vivian Leigh brings to life an innocent, cheerful creature guided by the wise, veteran Caesar, played by Claude Rains. Here, Cleopatra is nothing more than a puppet, devoid of will or judgment, in the hands of a Roman dictator. From the 1960s onward, another physical trait will pair up with her looks, the bob with bangs. The 1962 Italian production, A Queen for Caesar, recounts the early rise of the last Ptolemies and the conflicts between Caesar and Pompey. In this feature, however, the look that would be used in the 1963 Hollywood blockbuster Cleopatra was first sketched out. It was in that year that our Cleopatra was born. Mid-length hair, braids, bangs, even violet eyes. Even if you haven't seen the film, the image that springs to mind when evoked Egypt's queen is Elizabeth Taylor, filling the screen in slinky low-cut gowns, lavish jewels, and occasionally some wildly voluminous 60s hairstyles. The first copy of this look, albeit in comic form, appeared in 1965, with its film adaptation following in 1968's 6th Asterix installment, where Cleopatra bears an uncanny resemblance to the London actress' performance. Other films tried unsuccessfully to replicate Mankiewicz's head by drawing on other chapters of Cleopatra's life beyond her affair with Caesar. There were multiple versions and perversions of Shakespeare's Antony and Cleopatra. The most famous debuted in 1972 under the British banner, written, directed and starring Charlton Heston. Here, the powerful ruler's female figure takes a backseat, as the title itself suggests. It wasn't until the late 20th century and early 21st century that the solid foundation of Cleopatra's 60s image began to shake. New revisionist theories among Egyptologists questioned her fair complexion, given her mother's likely genetic heritage. In 1999, echoing this hypothesis, Leonor Valera portrayed a darker-skinned Cleopatra, with Latin features, pronounced curves, and waist-length hair, in a 3-part American miniseries. After all these evocative portrayals, we must ask, what do we really know about Cleopatra? The only surviving contemporary texts come from the Republican poet Horace, who wrote a note on Cleopatra's death. In it, while revealing in her demise, he tells us she committed suicide by a snake bite. Like any early Egyptian sovereign, Cleopatra's official image was idealized, especially in her earthly equivalence with Isis. On coins minted during her reign and 2 busts traditionally attributed to her, we see a very different woman than the one cinema has shown us. Her hair curled and gathered in a low bun or a braided coil, far from what we consider traditionally beautiful today. Her aquiline nose and prominent chin diverge sharply from the beauty idea forever embodied by unflappable Elizabeth Taylor. As with every video, we'd love to know your thoughts. Do you think the portrait we have projected of her so far does her justice?
Do you believe we have enough information to detail the physical features of this Egyptian ruler?
Looking at the statuary and coin effigies we have shown in this video, would you have imagined Egypt's last pharaoh look like this?
We want your diagnosis in the comments. Keep subscribe if this treatment worked for you, and join us next time for another powerful historical remedy.